All right, guys, welcome to Dr. Chef's Crypto. It's beautiful, rainy evening in the Colorado Rockies. It's beautiful out there. In any case, we are celebrating 2 months of our trading sideways, and I've got a fun little thing for today, something to talk about to kind of get our minds off of it and kind of get us focused on our goals. And um, Before I do all that, let me explain that I am not a financial advisor. Dr. Chef's Crypto, Doctor and Chef do not, apply at all to financial matters. I am not your financial advisor. Do not follow the crazy mountain chef in Colorado's advice about all of your money matters. But if you're looking to learn some stuff and have a little entertainment and education, you came to the right place. So we're going to talk about a concept today that's going to be kind of fun, and I'm going to walk you through a couple different approaches to this whole deal. We call that crypto cool versus crypto crazy. Which one are you? Are you crypto cool or are you crypto crazy? Which one are you? Man, I should have sampled that song. Crazy. That's a good song. Anyway, this is basically the concept of looking at approaches to this crypto world. Imagine it like this. Imagine that there's a scale, okay? And on this scale, it goes from the coldest, ice cold, to the crazy hottest, fire hot, okay? And that's the scale. And this is about how you deal with your crypto, okay? First of all, most people don't deal with crypto, so get ready for the fact that only 10 to 15% of Americans even do crypto. So you may think that because you watch these videos and because you are studying all the time and looking at charts all the time, that you're like everyone else. But trust me when I tell you, you're not. The majority of people you're going to run into have no idea. But you're in it. You're in crypto. Why? We've already talked about that. How? We've already talked about that. What are you doing? We've already talked about that. How do you buy dips? What do you do? We've already talked about all that. Look at previous videos. Right now, we want to talk about this idea of, are you crypto cool or crypto crazy? Where do you fall on this scale? In other words, do you play it cool? Are you ice cold? Are you on fire? Are you crazy? Are you burning it up? How do you approach crypto? So today we're going to do two examples. We're going to do the example of cool and the example of crazy, and you can kind of figure out on this scale. Let's say 1 to 10, and let's say that 1 is ice cold deep freeze, and 10 is totally on fire, jumping in, jumping out, tons of money, buying Lamborghinis, blowing them up by accident, totally insane person. This is the scale we're on. Where do you fall? Where do you fall? How do you do this? Let me give you a baseline with the ice cold. Let's take a look at some charts. Maybe this will help if I go over to some charts over here. All right, so this right here is the current BTC chart on Binance, okay? You can see up here, it's a BTC versus USD. So this is a Bitcoin versus US dollar comparison, which is the most common comparison in the world. You can see that it's at 31,624.48 right this second. And you can see this range we've been in. Back here, this would be, oh, wow, this is an hour chart. Hold on a second. Just realized I'm looking at an hour chart. Let's switch to a day chart. We've been in this range from back here, and this is the middle of May, to right here, which is the middle of July. So this is a 2-month range that goes from about 30 to about 40. We've been in this range, and it's been focusing on this lower end for the last few weeks. So when you're in this range and you're doing this, how do you act, right? What do you do? So are you crypto cool or are you crypto crazy? So let's talk about it. Let's look at this chart for a minute. Okay, so let's say that you're ice cold. What did an ice cold 1 on a scale of 1 to 10, what did that person do? Okay, a 0 has nothing and does nothing because they do nothing. But a 1 is a lockdown, ice cold person. So what did they do? So let's take a look at this. This is the chart, okay? And this is back when it was lower, and then it went up all the way to 60 and it came back down almost to those levels, but not quite. An ice cold person, a crypto cold, bought back here, right? Bought back here and held on to it. They don't even bother looking very often at these charts. They're not trying to trade. They're not trying to zigzag. They're not trying to buy all the time. They're not trying to do anything. They wait for a really big low where everybody talks about it being super low. They buy a big chunk and then they wait. And they wait through all this. Maybe they sold some here if they were, cool. Maybe they sold some here, right? So anyway, and we'll be back here, by the way. Don't get too nervous. We're going to be back up here. But anyway, they don't bother with analyzing charts, which is good because analyzing charts is kind of whack. Look at this. Head and shoulders. Okay, this is what? Two-headed monster. I mean, what do you call this? This is not following patterns. I mean, sure, I do technical analysis. I'm used to patterns, but you can't always rely on patterns. So you look at all this stuff. So the ice cold person bought some Bitcoin, hopefully at 30, possibly at 20 or 10 or even 5,000 or even $100, and they're sitting on that. Maybe they bought 10,000 Bitcoins for when they were worth a couple pizzas, and they've been sitting on them. Well, there might be one of those laser eyes people that's waiting for their chance to sell. Sometimes you see those laser eye people, and that means they're in that 100K club. They're waiting for that $100,000 Bitcoin, which is going to happen pretty soon. But anyway, that's neither here nor there. That's what ice cold looks like. But let's talk about a crypto cool person. A 3. This is somebody, maybe a 4, right? This is somebody that wants to trade. They want to have some action. They want to do some things when they see all this stuff, but they don't really know. They don't really want to take a lot of risk. They don't really want to blow their, portfolio. So they don't trade a lot of it. They take percentages of it, and they just look at these things. So what does a crypto cool person do? I'll blow this up. A crypto cool person is looking at a thing called support, which is right around here, around 30, and a thing called resistance, which is up here around 40. And they're looking at this pattern. They're watching it drop, and they see where it bottoms out, and they buy a little bit, and they let it make a move, and then they buy some more, let it make a move, and then they buy some more. What they're doing is they have a job, let's say, and in this job they're working as a banker or whatever it is, okay, and they make a paycheck and they have a little bit left over every couple weeks, every month. They have a little bit left over, so they buy a little bit when they see a dip. They buy a little bit when they see another dip. They don't get crazy. They don't try to trade it. They don't do anything with it. They just hodl it. They hold on to it, and they're playing it cool. If you are a person who likes to play it a little bit more conservative, a little bit safer, I highly recommend this crypto cool approach. I highly recommend buying some dips, piece at a time, and just chilling. Think about it. These words all have, cross references and metaphorical references, like, ice cold, cold storage. Think about cold storage. That is a hard wallet. That is somebody that is buying crypto back here at the super low times, okay? They're buying the crypto. We can go up to a 3-day and look at a very long pattern. Maybe they even bought back here. Can you imagine that? Can you imagine having a $10,000 Bitcoin that you bought? Anyway, a bunch of them, they bought this dip back here at 3,000. $3,800 Bitcoins. You're 10x right now in a dip if you did that. But anyway, let's imagine that they bought these low points. Maybe this one here, maybe this one here. Okay. And they're just hodling. They're just holding on. They took all that stuff, whether it was Bitcoin, Ethereum, whatever it was, Cardano, they put it into a hard wallet and they're waiting. They're waiting for the day. Maybe they've got 1,000 Bitcoins and they're waiting for the day that is 100,000. They're going to sell half of them and hold on to half of them. They almost never sell everything. But an ice cold crypto person uses cold storage and they just buy chunks of major things and they just sit on it. Now, what about cool? What about not ice cold? What about cool? What are they doing? And what they're doing, and let me go back to a more reasonable, I'll go to a 12-hour chart. What they're doing is doing a little bit of analysis, and they're looking for these dips right here, right? They're looking for these dips to buy. They're not selling. They're not going crazy. They're not panicking when it gets a focus like this, right? They're just chilling. They're a cool customer. They're just chilling, right? So this is what we do. Now, what I suggest for you is that, first of all, when you look at a chart like this, you do not panic, okay? If you panic, then you're not an ice cold customer. You're not a crypto cool. You're crypto crazy because all the cool people said, okay, I'm going to hold on to it. I'm going to buy some dips. I'm going to hold on to it. That's crypto cool. Crypto cool is buying dips, okay, and hodling. That's crypto cool, okay? But what about crypto crazy? Now, the highest end of that is somebody that's literally crazy. They buy when it's high, they sell when it's low, they're panicking all the time. They don't have any control over themselves, okay? They don't understand how this works. I literally saw people posting when it was really low how they were going to sell it because they hate it now, and they're just on fire when their friend tells them about Dogecoin at the office cooler in March. They go crazy, and then they're so excited, and now they're just so bored. Okay, that 9 and 10 range is not where you want to be, because those people, 90% of crypto 9 and 10s on the hot scale lose all their money. 90% of them. They go in hard on the wrong times. They bet too much. But what if you were really a serious crypto crazy, hot gambler type of a person? Well, I'm going to show you a deal that I pulled off the other day. Okay, I put it together for some people. It's a long story. I'm not, like I said, this is not advice. But this is what crypto crazy looks like. Are you ready? This is what crypto crazy looks like. So, going back to our chart, okay, you can see this range. Now, let's take a close look. You see how we've got things going up and down, but they're not going by much. And so this looks like a dead zone, right? Compared to the rest of the action, this looks like a dead zone. Okay, well, let me show you what it looks like if we bring it down to a 1-hour chart. Look at this. Look at that. You see this? These are 1 hour per candle. Last hour, we got a little bounce back happening. Right, where will that go? We'll see. Look at this. This was 7:16 at 6 a.m. This was yesterday morning. Look at this big fall right here. 7:15, 4 a.m. This was the day before in the night, in the middle of the night, 4 a.m. Look at this. This hit right here, 7:14, 3 o'clock. That was the day before that. That's 3 days ago. Look at this drop right here, 7:13 at 2100, right? This was a drop. Look at this one. This is another drop. This is 7:13 at 600. Okay, 6 o'clock in the morning. Look at these candles. Look how they go up and down at some points. So here's what crypto crazy means. Okay, this is what crypto crazy means. Check this out. So I'm watching this pattern. I'm seeing this range and I'm seeing this. Let's go back to a day for a minute. I'm seeing how this ranges, and it's been doing that for 2 months. Boom. Drop into 30, coming up near 40. Drop into near 30, coming up near 40. Drop into 30, coming up near 40. Drop into 30. So what we learned is a thing called support. We learned that 30 is the hard support right now. 31 is a pretty good support number. There's a very high percentage chance that it's going to bounce off of, okay, that support. There's a very high chance if you see it going down toward 30 and you see it get almost there, boom, there's a really good chance it's going to bounce off of 30. Now you got to remember two things. Okay, listen very carefully. You got to remember technical analysis, but also you've got to remember the sentimentality of people. You got to remember the psychology of people. Okay? You got to remember that big round numbers like 31,000 or 30,000 are barriers. 40,000, these are barriers. These are when people start to freak out. They see big giant numbers and they start to freak out. So, knowing that, you know that 30,000 is going to be for technical analysis and charts as well as psychology. It's going to be a hard bottom. And so you're going to bet that it's going to bounce. So you see it coming down and you're like, this is going to bounce right above 30. So watch this. Let's go back to the hour chart. So I explained this to my homie. Here we go. We're going down. And he's like looking at this right here. And I'm like, don't worry, looking at this right here. I'm like, there is no way this goes beyond 31, but 30 for sure. There's no way this goes beyond 30. There's no way. Almost period. Okay? There's no way. But it could get close. So here's what I suggested to this person. I said, we're almost always going to go back up into the 32, 33 range. We are almost always going to bounce off this 30, 31 range. There's very little chance. So when you get very close to 31, you go ahead and buy. But this is crypto crazy. So I said, all right, now buy, but here's the deal. Buy with leverage. Now, we don't normally suggest this. Okay, listen, caveat, okay? Leverage is dangerous. If you have something at 10x, 50x, 100x, that means you lose the money as fast as you gain the money. So 100x leverage means you're going to lose your money 100 times faster when it drops. It means you're going to get 100 times more money if you live through it. But this is why it's called crypto crazy. Anything above 6 on the crypto crazy cold chart we're talking about is basically gambling. You are going to do something crazy. And this person's running a 7 or 8. So they're like, all right, let's do something crazy. Let's take a Bitcoin. Let's buy it when we know we're about to bounce right before that limit. Let's sell it when we know we're about to cap out. Now, we know that because of the range. So this person chose 31. Okay, so let's go back to our chart so you can see this. So this person chose 31 as the bottom, which is a very good guess. If you look at this chart, you'll see 31025 is the bottom for all the way back to the beginning of the month, right? This is the bottom. So picking 31 as the bottom, knowing it would never get to 31, so going with 31, right? Going with 31, 100. So 31, 100. Now, this is before we knew this information, right? We're sitting in here, we're watching this drop. We're sitting in here, watching this drop, okay? So I said, okay, get crazy. If you want to get crazy, it's never, and this is what I told the person, and like I said, I'm not a financial analyst. Do not listen to everything I say, okay? That's not the thing. But I told the person, look, you're in this little range right here. You're doing crazy stuff. Listen, it's never going to go below 31. I am virtually guaranteeing that right now, the way this is working, your 31's a hard bottom. So he went 31, 100, okay, 31, 100, and then thinking, okay, it's not going to go that high. This is 34. This is 34. So let's go with, let's go with something reasonable. Okay, watching these drops. You see how many times it bounced? All right, let's go with something reasonable. And the decision was made for 33. Okay, 33. That's 35. That's 34. 33 is a really good option, right? So you're going to buy in at 31, 100. And you're going to set your top for 33. This is in this little range right here. Do you see this? You see this? Look at this. This little tiny thing right here. Absolutely meaningless to everyone in the world. This little thing right here. But we're not talking about normal people. We're talking about crypto crazy. So, setting a buy, setting a purchase order to buy a Bitcoin at 31, to sell it at 33 with 100x leverage. This is called crypto crazy. But you're looking at the bounces, so you know, okay, that's crazy. And you're talking about this little tiny move right here. It's microscopic little weirdness right here. And this, my friends, is just 3 days ago. Look at it. So coming in on this 31, 100. Now this bottoms out at 31, okay? And you're going to catch the 31, 100. All right. Then you're going to bounce up to 33. There's the 31 right there. There's a 32. Right. So this person, in just the last week, put in a buy for 31 and a sell for 33 at 100% leverage. Now, yes, if that would have been just a tiny, tiny dip below 31, they would have been liquidated. So listen to me. Do not do this. Do not do this. Because if you got just a 30,900 or something like that, you'd be liquidated. It's 100 times faster, and you're going to lose a whole Bitcoin, $31,000. You're going to lose it. But here's what happened instead. Knowing that there was very little chance to bust through 31, knowing that the liquidation was in the 3,900 range, right? Knowing that the purchase order was in 31,100, knowing that it wasn't thinking or deciding that it wasn't going to go below 31, it would never be liquidated before it got to 33. This paid a tiny little percentage, just $2,000 on a Bitcoin. $2,000 on one Bitcoin times 100. Okay, and 2,000 times 2,000 times 100 is $200,000. So that purchase, okay, that purchase in the middle of the lowest, weirdest, ranging, horrible, sideways trading nonsense, that purchase, 31 to 33, made $200,000, and it made it in basically a day or two. That's what crypto crazy looks like. Please listen to me. Please don't ever do that. But if you ever decide you're going to go crypto crazy, if you ever decide that you're just balling out of control, if you ever decide that you are the king of the crypto universe, if you ever have $30,000, $40,000 laying around burning a hole in your pocket that you don't need again, if you ever decide that you're going to go totally crypto crazy, insane, this is what it's called. Now, it flexes the other way by just a couple hundred. I'm talking about $100 out of 30,000. You're talking about almost no flexing to the south. If it goes bad on you, you get liquidated. You have nothing. You lost $31,000 in 5 minutes. You're done. But if you look at that 31,000 and say that's a hard bottom, I'm bouncing. I'm never, ever going to go below 31 right now with this particular environment, with this particular technical analysis, this particular world that we're in right now. I'm going for it. Here's my $31,100 Bitcoin, and I'm gonna sell it. A $32,100, $1,000. $32,100 gets you $1,000 times 100, or you can go times 10. Times 10 would still be $20,000. You make $20,000 instantaneously with plenty of room to play. Now, what I'm saying is obviously crypto crazy. But now you know. Now you know how this works. Now you know how the range goes. Can we go from, crypto cool to crypto crazy? Where are we in this chart? Where are we? Are we going to play it cool? Are we going to buy and hodl? One of my favorite people online is Crypto Casey, and she is not a trader. Every single week, she speaks out against trading and gambling and acting crazy. A lot of the big boys in this, and girls, right? A lot of the big boys and girls in this field are super against any kind of craziness. And they should be. It's totally insane to do anything like that. It's completely insane to be the person that goes crypto crazy and just says, I'm going to blow $30,000 real quick. I'm going to blow a brand new vehicle, a down payment on a great house just real fast. I don't care. That is a weird person. That is a crypto crazy person. That's 1% of the 10%. So you're talking about less than a single percentage of human beings are going to do anything, or Americans or whatever are going to do anything crazy like that. But it's a thing. There's the chart. Are you ice cold? Do you buy when it's really low, put it in a hard wallet, leave it on the side, and wait? Are you cool, buying some dips, holding all the time, not taking any risks? Are you in the middle somewhere, take a few risks? What I do personally, okay, so just to make this the final thing and sign off for today, what I do personally is I take the majority of my holdings and hodl them. I play it crypto cool on the majority. I got ice cold. I would say if I was going to break it down for you, I'm probably 50% ice cold. I got 50% untouchable. I got about 25% that's cool, where I'm adding a little bit here and there. I'm playing a 2 or a 3 on it. I'm adding a little bit here and there, but I'm being super careful. I'm only buying dips. I'm not selling anything. But I probably have about 10 to 20% where I get a little crypto crazy. I just take 10%, money that I could lose and be okay with. And I play with that because if I do $1,000 trade at some point at 100x and it comes through, and I've read my charts right, and my gut feeling is good, I get make $100,000. I mean, come on, it's worth a little bit of a risk every now. That's my personal opinion. That's not instructions or advice. That's my personal opinion. But I think it's worth it every now and then to give it a little risk. Take 5%, 10% of what you got and play with it some. If it's not gonna hurt you. Okay. And go a little crypto crazy. Yes, mostly I'm crypto cool. But every now and then, well, I get a little crypto crazy. Anyway, that's the show. Crypto cool versus crypto crazy. All right. You guys are awesome. Thank you so much for joining me. Like I said, this is Chef. This is Big Boy. This is whatever you want to call me. You call me anything you want. But this is Dr. Chef's Crypto. Hit me up at drchefscrypto@gmail, or put some questions down below into, the comments. If you like this stuff, please like it. Please subscribe. Hit the notification button so you know when I post something. I mean, I'd love to have more than just, barely double-digit followers. That would be amazing. I think the stuff is pretty good. I think it helps you understand a lot of this. Maybe I'm crazy. Like I said, maybe I'm crypto crazy. Anyway, this is Dr. Chef. Thank you guys so much. Thanks for joining me on this beautiful, rainy Colorado evening. You guys are amazing. Thank you for showing up. Ask me anything you want anytime. It's AMAA. It's Ask Me Anything Anytime. Okay? Thanks so much. Dr. Chef signing out. Thanks.